Hi, I'm Dr. Steve Warner, and today I would like to talk about the strategy of picking numbers. This strategy works on a wide range of math problems in all topics and difficulty levels, and it can be used to make a difficult problem much easier to understand. And if you're careful in its use, you'll usually get the answer without too much trouble. The idea is very simple. Just replace the unknowns in the problem with specific values. Let's look at an example. Which of the following is an equivalent simplified expression for 3 times 5x plus 8 minus 4 times 3x minus 2? Okay, let's pick a specific value for x. Let's say x equals 2. So wherever I see an x, I'm going to replace it with 2, and then I could just type this all into my calculator. 5 times 2 plus 8 close parenthesis, minus 4, parenthesis, 3 times 2 minus 2. And the answer that you will get is 38. Put a nice big dark circle around that 38. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing in all of the answer choices. I'm going to replace x by 2 and use my calculator. And we see that we get the following answers: 18, 22, 38, 16, and 17. We could cross out any answer choice that did not come out to 38. Since choice C is the only one that came out to 38, choice C must be the answer. Okay, this may seem tedious, and certainly in this case an algebraic solution is much quicker, but it's nice to practice the strategy of picking numbers so that when you do find problems that you have trouble with solving algebraically, you can always resort to this method if necessary. Here are some guidelines when picking numbers. First of all, pick a number that is simple but not too simple. You might want to avoid picking 0 or 1 because very often more than one answer choice will come out correct and you'll have to pick new numbers anyway. 2 is usually a good choice, unless it's prohibited for some reason. Second, try to avoid picking numbers that actually appear in the problem. And third, when picking 2 or more numbers, try to make them all different. Let's try another example. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to 5a plus 10b plus 15c? Okay, so following the guideline, let's pick numbers that are simple, but not too simple, and we'll make them all different. So let's let a equal 2, b equal 3, and c equal 4. Okay, so in the question we're going to replace a by 2, b by 3, c by 4. Type that into our calculator and we get out the number 100. Put a nice big dark circle around there. And now we're going to plug 2, 3, and 4 into each of the answer choices for a, b, and c as well. And we get the following: 100, 136, 460, 52, and 270. Since B, C, D, and E came out incorrect, the answer is choice A. Be careful here. Just because choice A came out to 100 doesn't mean we should accept that as the answer right away. We have to make sure that the other 4 choices do not come out to 100. Later on, we'll see an example where falling into this trap will actually get you the wrong answer. Let's look at another example. If c is greater than 1, then which of the following has the least value? Okay, let's choose a simple value for c, like 2. And let's plug each of these into our calculator with a 2 in place of c. Well, the first one gives about 1.4. The second one is equal to 2. The third one is equal to 2. The fourth one is approximately 2.8. And the last one is equal to 4. We're looking for the least value. That's choice A. 1.4 is smaller than all of the other answers. Okay, another example. For all x, 5x minus 4 squared equals. Okay, so if your algebra skills are not that strong, you may have trouble doing this exponentiation. So let's go ahead and plug in a number. once again, x equals 2 is usually a good choice. So 5 times 2 minus 4 squared. Put that into your calculator, and you should get out 36. Again, put a big dark circle around 36 so it's easy to find later. Okay, now let's substitute 2 in for x in each answer choice. We get a 12 for A, we get 32 for B, 116 for C, 76 for D, and 36 for E. Well, A, B, C, and D each came out incorrect, so the answer must be choice E. Okay, another example. Two numbers are reciprocals if their product is equal to 1. If A and B are reciprocals and A is less than -1, then B must be, well, be careful here. It says A is less than -1. So we can't choose A equal to 2 because that doesn't satisfy the condition. So let's try A equals -2. Well, A and B are reciprocals, so B in this case would be -1/2. Now it says B must be greater than 1? No, -1/2 is not greater than 1. Between 0 and 1? No. Equal to 0? No. Between -1 and 0? Yes, it is. And let's just check E. Less than -1? No, it's not. So the answer is, in fact, choice D. The ratio of x to y is 5 to 1, and the ratio of y to z is 1 to 4. What is the value of 3x minus 2y over 5y plus 2z? Well, let's choose values for x, y, and z that satisfy the given condition. Well, some easy choices would be x equals 5, y equals 1. That makes the ratio of x to y 5 to 1. And for y to z being 1 to 4, just let z equals 4. Note that I did violate one of my guidelines, which says don't pick 1. But in this case, it's so simple to pick it that it seems worth it. If we wind up not being able to eliminate all the answer choices, no big deal, we'll change these numbers a little bit. But as you can see, that's not going to happen, because when we plug these numbers in, we're going to get either 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and that's going to give us the answer right away. So plugging these numbers in, we have 3 times 5 minus 2 times 1 over 5 times 1 plus 2 times 4. And you can either do that by hand or plug it into your calculator to get, see, that's 13 over 13, which is 1. And that's choice A. Another guideline. Most of the time, picking numbers only allows you to eliminate answer choices. Do not just choose the first answer choice that comes out to the correct answer. If multiple answers come out correct, you need to pick a new number and start again. But this time, you only have to check the answer choices that have not yet been eliminated. Let's look at an example. If jk over v is an integer, which of the following must also be an integer? Okay, let's choose values for jk and v. How about we choose j equal to 3, k equal to 4, and v equal to 2. It follows that jk over v is equal to, well, that's 3 times 4 over 2, which is 6. And that's an integer, so it satisfies the given conditions. Now we want to check which of these are also integers. So let's just plug in a 3 for j, 4 for k, 2 for v into each answer choice and do this computation. For a, we get 24. For b, we get 108. For c, we get 1.5. For d, we get approximately 2.67. E, we get 0.375. So C, D, and E did not come out to integers, so we could cross them out. But we still don't know if the answer is A or B. A sort of looks like the obvious answer, but if you choose A, you'll actually get this question wrong. Let's try new values for J, K, and V. Let's try J equals 0.5, K equals 1, and V equals 0.5. then jk over v is equal to 1, because the 0.5s cancel. So these numbers satisfy the given condition. Note that we've already eliminated C, D, and E, so we just have to check back into A and B. One more guideline. In percent problems, pick the number 100. Let's look at an example. An integer is decreased by 30%, and the resulting number is then increased by 35%. The final number is what percent of the original number? Okay, so let's start by picking the number 100, and let's decrease that by 30%. 100 is very easy to decrease by 30%. You just subtract 30 to get the number 70. To then increase 70 by 35%, we can simply multiply 70 times 1.35. And the answer comes out to 94.5. And so, since we started with the number 100, the answer is choice C, 94.5%. Let's try picking numbers in a statistics problem. To decrease the mean of 5 numbers by 3, by how much would the sum of the 5 numbers have to decrease? Okay, let's pick some numbers. So let's let our 5 numbers all be 10. Okay, then the mean is 10, and the sum is 50. If we decrease each of these numbers by 3, then all of the numbers become 7. The mean is 7, and the sum is 35. So we wound up decreasing the sum by 15, choice E. Let's do one more. The average or arithmetic mean of 4 numbers is x. If one of the numbers is y, what is the average of the remaining 3 numbers in terms of x and y? Okay, let's pick some numbers. Let's let y equal 5, and let's let the other 3 numbers be 1, 2, and 4. We then have that x, being the average of the 4 numbers, is 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 over 4, which is 12 over 4, or 3. And the average of the remaining 3 numbers is 1 plus 2 plus 4 over 3, which is 7/3, or approximately 2.333. Let's put a nice big dark circle around that. And now we substitute a 3 for x and a 5 for y into each answer choice. Let's see what we get. Here we get 0.75. Here we get 7. Here we get 1. Here we get about 2.33. And here we get about 5.67. So we can eliminate choices A, B, C, and E, and the answer must be choice D. Let's finish up with one trigonometry problem where we can pick numbers. Whenever sine x over tan x is defined, it is equivalent to what? Well, let's pick a value for x and use our calculator. How about we use x equals 15? Okay, so if we plug 15 in for sine x over tan x, sine 15 over tan 15, we get approximately 0.9659. Put a nice big circle around that number. And now let's plug a 15 in for x into each answer choice. Here we get about 0.9659. Sine x comes to about 0.2588. 1 over cosine x, 1.035. 1 over sine x is about 3.8637. And 1 over cosine squared x is about 1.0718. So we can eliminate choices B, C, D, and E. A looks correct, and that is the answer.